Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Dear student, Assalamu alaikum. The topic of today's lecture is Introduction to Sulfur-Containing Saturated Heterocycles. And today I will talk specifically about tyrene, which is a three-membered sulfur-containing saturated heterocycle. Outline of today's lecture include Introduction to Sulfur-Containing Saturated Heterocycles, in which I will discuss about 3-membered, 4-membered, 5-membered as well as 6-membered sulfur-containing saturated heterocycle. And then I will talk about specifically about the tyrene molecule, the 3-membered sulfur-containing saturated heterocycle. I will discuss the structure as well as physical properties of tyrene, natural occurrence of tyrene, and how we can prepare tyrene in the laboratory. So I will discuss various methods for the preparation of tyrene. And at the end, I will talk about various chemical reaction of tyrene to obtain biologically important molecule. Learning outcome. At the end of this lecture, every student will be able to describe structure, natural occurrence, synthetic method, as well as chemical reactions of tyrene and its application. Introduction to sulfur-containing saturated heterocycle. The simplest sulfur-containing saturated heterocycle is the tyrene molecule, and it consists of a 3-membered ring having a chemical formula C2H4S, which consists of 2 carbon atom, 4 hydrogen atom, and 1 sulfur atom. This tyrene molecule is biologically very important, and it is present in various types of drugs molecule. For example, here one can see the tyrene monoxide molecule, and these molecules have properties as an insecticides, as emulsicides, and used as a herbicide. Similarly, one can see over here that these cephalosporins have also this tyrene ring, and it is used as a broad spectrum antibiotic. So it means that tyrene is an important biologically active molecule, and it's important to know about the chemistry of tyrene molecule, structure, physical properties, how we can synthesize it in the laboratory, and what it is its main chemical reaction to obtain its derivative having good biological activity. The second member is the 4-membered ring, and the 4-membered ring, the IUPAC name is titane, and the common name is trimethylene sulfide, and it is also consists of a saturated sulfur containing ring, and it consists of 3 carbon atom, 6 hydrogen atom, because each carbon carrying 2 hydrogen and 1 sulfur atom. And 4-membered heterocycles are also imported and present in various biological molecules. The third one is the 5-membered saturated sulfur-containing heterocycle, and the IUPAC name is thylane, while the common name is tetrahydrothiophene molecule. And this 5-membered sulfur-containing heterocycle is biologically important as compared to the 4-membered ring and 5-membered ring, 6-membered ring, and it is present in various types of medicine and drug molecule, such as one can see over here that it is a component of biotin, which is vitamin B7, and vitamin B7 have a lot of application in our daily life. The fourth one is the thiene molecule, the 6-membered heterocycle. The common name is tetrahydro 2-hydrogen thiopyrene, and the IUPAC name is thiene, and it's also biologically important. But among these 4 molecules, the tyrene and thylane are the most important biologically active molecule. So today's lecture is about the tyrene molecule, the first 3-membered sulfur-containing saturated heterocycle. So today I will discuss about the first 3-membered sulfur-containing saturated heterocycle, tyrene. So structure and physical properties of tyrene. Tyrene, commonly known as ethylene sulfide, and this is the structure of tyrene molecule, ethylene sulfide. It consists of 2 carbon atom, 4 hydrogen atom, because 2 hydrogen here and 2 hydrogen here with 1 sulfur atom. And the bond angle, as mentioned, that this carbon sulfur carbon bond angle is 48, while this carbon carbon angle angle is 66, and this one is also 66. The bond length of carbon sulfur is 181 picometer, while the carbon sulfur the carbon carbon bond length is 148 picometer, while the carbon hydrogen bond length is 108 picometer. And so the chemical formula is consists of two carbon atom, four hydrogen atom, and sulfur atom. And some physical properties are mentioned over here, that it is a pale yellow liquid, and as it is liquid, it boils at around 55 degrees centigrade, and springly soluble in water. Density is equal to 1.01 gram per centimeter cube. It's mean that the density is approximately equal to the density of water, which is 1 gram per centimeter cube. Now, natural occurrence of styrene. Styrene are immensely present in nature in the form of 3,4-epithiobutane nitrile, which is present in cruciferous plant. Styrene occur naturally in cruciferous vegetables. This is the structure of 3,4-epithiobutane nitrile, and the opaque name is 2-styrene 2-acetonitrile, and it is present in mostly leafy green vegetable, such as mentioned over here, that it is present in broccoli, radish, cauliflower, these green vegetable, turnips, etc. And this is the rutabaga, which is the Swedish turnip. So generally, styrene exists in the form of 3,4-epithiobutane nitrile, and this molecule 3,4-epithiobutane nitrile is present in various leafy vegetables, as mentioned over here. This styrene molecule is very important because molecule containing styrene rings are more bactericidal than those containing oxygen containing heterocycle, that is oxirane. And some styrene derivatives have found application as tuberculose. And styrene monoxide have been reported to be insecticide, molicides, as well as herbicide, as I mentioned in the previous slide too. So as compared to oxygen containing heterocycle, the sulfur containing three-membered saturated heterocycle is biologically more active as compared to the oxirane molecule. Now, this is the natural occurrence of styrene. Now, how we can synthesize styrene in the laboratory? So, synthesis of styrene, there are several methods available for the synthesis of styrene, but here I will discuss only three methods. First one is that we can obtain styrene from the cyclization of beta substituted thiol, that is either substituted with halogen or with hydroxyl group. So I will discuss this in the next slide. Second one is ring transformation of oxirane. Oxirane can be reacted with thiourea and other reagent to produce the styrene molecule. And the third method is that we can obtain the styrene molecule from sulfur halide. When sulfur halide is treated with thiourea, then we can obtain the styrene molecule. So we will discuss these methods one by one, starting from cyclization of beta substituted thiol. So this is the structure of 2-haloethane thiol. When it is treated with a base, one can obtain easily the styrene molecule with the release of hydrogen halide. If this halogen is chlorine, then we can obtain the hydrogen chloride. If this halogen is any other group such as bromine, then we will obtain the hydrogen bromide. So in this case, the potassium hydroxide is a base. It can take this hydrogen atom and the sulfur carrying negative charge attack on this carbon atom, so eliminating the halide ion, which take this hydrogen atom from the water molecule and release in the form of hydrogen halide, and styrene molecule is obtained. So this is a simple reaction for the synthesis of styrene molecule. If it is an halogen, then we use the potassium hydroxide. But instead of halogen, if this X is used as a hydroxyl group, the reaction proceed in the presence of phosgene, COCl2, and in the presence of ethyl acetate and pyridine as a base. And in this case, one can see that this 2-hydroxy thiol is treated with phosgene and ethyl acetate. In the first step, we obtain 1,3-oxathiol thiolone 2-on molecule. And when this intermediate is heated at 200 degrees centigrade, then one can obtain the this thyrane molecule. And the transformation from this 2-hydroxy ethane thiol to this 1,3-oxathiolane 2-on molecule, the mechanism is mentioned over here. That in the presence of pyridine, it take the hydrogen from this hydroxyl molecule. So it have negative charge, and either the lone pair of electron can attack on the pyridine molecule in the first step. So when the pi bond shift toward the oxygen and it comes back, then the chloride ion eliminated in the form of hydrogen halide, hydrogen chloride, and we can obtain this intermediate species. And in the second step, the lone pair of electron of sulfur attack on this carbonyl group. So the pi electron shift towards the oxygen, and when it comes back, it eliminates the chloride ion. So another hydrochloric acid molecule is released, and this cyclization happen, and we obtain 1,3-oxathiolane 2-on molecule. And then when it is heated at 200 degrees centigrade, then the carbon dioxide gas evolve, and we obtain the thyrane molecule. That's simply this bond break and this bond break. So one bond shift toward here to produce the one bond shift toward here to produce the carbon dioxide molecule. So it carrying the positive charge, and the sulfur attack on this carbon atom to produce the thyrane molecule. This reaction, this both reaction is mentioned in this chemical review, Thyrane, which was published in 1966. So one can find out this paper by using this DOI of this paper. So if anyone is interested in further detail, one can download this paper for yourself from Google Scholar. Second method is that we can obtain thyrane molecule from oxirane. And thyrane molecule can be prepared from the reaction of ethylene oxide and potassium thiocyanate. And for this purpose, potassium thiocyanate is first melted under vacuum to remove water. So anhydrous condition is required. And the driving force for this reaction is the stability of cyanide ion. So this is the reaction. When we take any oxirane molecule and treat it with potassium thiocyanate at room temperature, then we can obtain the thyrane molecule. The mechanism is mentioned over here that the thiocyanate molecule, potassium thiocyanate, potassium carrying positive charge and the cyanate ion carrying negative charge, attack on one of the carbon, and the ring opening happen and producing this intermediate. And in the second step, we obtain another intermediate. When we open this ring, this is C triple bond N. So when this oxygen atom attack on this carbon atom, which carrying the C triple bond N, so one of the pi electron shift toward the nitrogen atom, and 5-membered intermediate is formed with nitrogen carrying negative charge. And then again, when this negative electron come over here, the bond break here, and the sulfur carrying the negative charge. So again, the ring opening happen. And then in the last step, this sulfur attack on this carbon atom, releasing the cyanide ion. This cyanide ion have greater stability, and therefore the reaction proceeds that the oxirane ring in the presence of potassium cyanide produce the thyrane molecule. This is the cyanide molecule, and one can see that due to the resonance it is stabilized. So due to this stability, one can convert the oxirane molecule to thyrane molecule in the presence of potassium thiocyanate. This is not only for the substituted oxirane molecule. It is also reported from epoxide, the cyclic epoxide, when it is treated with potassium cyanide. In the first step, the similar ring opening happen, and then this oxygen attack on this carbon atom, so producing a 5-membered intermediate. And then when this electron come back, this electron shift toward the sulfur atom, producing the sulfur negative ion, and then this sulfur attack on this carbon atom, producing the thyrane molecule and producing the cyanide ion. Both these reactions are reported in 1962 in Organic Synthesis, and here is the DOI link for the publication. If anyone is interested, one can download this paper for further detail. Second one, that we can also obtain the thyrane molecule from oxirane when it is treated. The oxirane is treated with ammonium thiocyanate instead of potassium thiocyanate in the presence of bismuth chloride catalyst and using acetonitrile solvent. So this is the epoxide molecule when it is treated with 10% bismuth chloride and ammonium thiocyanate using acetonitrile solvent at 85 degrees centigrade. Then this epoxide is converted to the thyrane molecule, and the mechanism is exactly similar to the mechanism as I mentioned in the previous slide. But in the previous slide, they use the potassium thiocyanate. In this case, they are using the ammonium thiocyanate. And it is also, they have also reported that this epoxide, which have an aliphatic chain, have also converted to thyrane ring by using 10% of bismuth chloride and 2 equivalent of ammonium thiocyanate using acetonitrile solvent at 85 degrees centigrade. The oxirane ring is converted to the thyrane ring. The mechanism is mentioned over here. If here is any R group, aromatic or aliphatic, but generally the aliphatic oxirane are reported. Then this thiocyanate negative ion attack on this carbon, and the ring opening happen. And then in the second step, one can see that this pi electron, attack on the carbon atom of the ammonium cyanate, and then a 5-membered intermediate is formed. And then in this similar manner, when this this electron shift over here, the ring opening happen, and then the sulfur attack on this carbon atom to produce the thyrane molecule. And this reaction is reported in 1998 in Synthetic Communication. Oxirane can also, thyrane can also be produced from oxirane by a straightforward reaction and orderless ring opening reaction when using beta hydroxy sulfide from in situ generated S-alkyl isothiorinium salt in urea chloride based deep electrostatic solvent. So the reaction of epoxide with thiourea and DEC chloride based deep eutectic solvent yield the corresponding thyranes. So one can see that when oxirane is treated with thiourea, this reaction is a straightforward and orderless ring opening reaction. And this is when treated with urea choline, then at 60 degrees centigrade for approximately 2 hours, then one can obtain the both the alkylated and aromatic substituted thyrane molecule. And this urea choline is prepared by treating 1.5 equivalent of chlorine chloride and 3 equivalent urea at 60 degrees centigrade for approximately 1 hour. So when treating oxirane with thiourea, one can also obtain the thyrane molecule. And this reaction is reported recently in 2014 in Synthetic Letter, and they use the aromatic substituent as well as the aliphatic substituent, and they obtain the thyrane molecule in good yield, 195% yield, and when using the aliphatic one, they obtain in 88% isolated yield. The third method is that one can obtain the thyrane molecule from the sulfur halide. Reaction of sulfur halide with thiourea produce the thyrane molecule. This is the thiourea and this is the sulfur halide. When it is treated with this molecule, in the first step, a 4-membered intermediate state is formed, and then the sulfur attack on the carbon atom, so producing the thyrane molecule. So the sulfur halide are 2 types. One is the sulfonium halide, as it is mentioned over here, and the second one is the dimethyl sulfoxonium methylide, and it can exist in this form or either in this form. And these sulfur halides can be produced by a reported method that uh, this dimethyl sulfonium metallide can be obtained by treating dimethyl sulfur with methyl iodide in the first step to produce this salt. And this salt is generally treated with a base to produce the dimethyl sulfonium metallide. And the base used in this case is potassium terbutoxide or sodium hydroxide using DMO solvent. Similarly, the dimethyl oxosulfonium metallide is obtained by treating dimethyl sulfoxide with methyl iodide to produce the salt, and then this is treated only with a base sodium hydride in DMSO solvent and PHF solvent to produce this dimethyl sulfonium metallide. And when this dimethyl sulfonium metallide or dimethyl oxosulfonium metallides are treated with the thiourea, one can obtain the thyrane molecule. And in this case, this CH2 negative ion attack directly on this carbon atom. So this sulfur pi electron shift toward the sulfur atom, and then the sulfur atom attack on this CH2 molecule, so producing the thyrane molecule as well as the dimethyl sulfoxide molecule. And this reaction is reported in the synthesis of this sulfur halides are reported in 1965 in a Journal of American Chemical Society. So this is all about the synthesis of thyrane molecule. Now chemical reaction of thyrane. The reactivity of three-membered heterocycle is mainly influenced by three factors: ring strain, angle and torsional strain. It includes both angle and torsional strain, polarization of the carbon heteroatom bond, and strength of the nucleophile. So the reaction is almost similar to the reaction of oxirane molecule. The first one reaction is the ring opening reaction of with nucleophile, and the ring opening reaction of thyrane occur with ammonia, Greek nitrogen, alkyl halide, lithium aluminum hydride, hydrogen halide, and sodium cyanide, etc. With various nucleophile, the ring opening reaction happen. Second one is oxidation to sulfur oxide and desulfurization to alkene, and this reaction is similar to the Wittig reaction in the presence of phosphine. And the third reaction is reaction with amines and ammonia. So we'll discuss this reaction one by one. First one is the ring opening reaction by nucleophile. And here I mentioned that it's react with various nucleophile, strong nucleophiles such as Greek nitrogen, alkyl halide, lithium aluminum hydride, sodium cyanide, or methoxide, sodium methoxide, or potassium methoxide. And it can also the ring opening happen with weak nucleophiles such as water and methanol. And here is the various ring opening reaction. This is thyrane molecule. When it is treated with water molecule, water is a weak nucleophile, and in this case we need an acid to open the ring. So acid will first protonate this sulfur atom, and it make this carbon more electrophilic, and then the OH attack on this electrophilic carbon. So for weak nucleophile, it's necessary to be added an acid to make this carbon more electrophilic. And then ammonia directly attack because ammonia nitrogen is electrophilic in nature, so it's do not need any acid. Greek nitrogen is a good nucleophile, so it directly attached lithium aluminum hydride and hydrochloric acid also. So this reaction is similar to the reaction of oxirane molecule, that when we treated thyrane molecule with various nucleophile, the ring opening reaction happen. So strong nucleophile initiate direct ring opening. So one can see that ammonia, Greek nitrogen, lithium aluminum hydride, and hydrochloric acid directly initiate the ring opening reaction of thyrane molecule. And weak nucleophiles are ineffective in direct ring opening since the carbon of the heterocycles are not electrophilic enough. So if we use water molecule or methanol molecule, that are not enough to attack on this carbon atom because it's not electrophilic. So what we do to initiate the reaction? So then the ring opening of these heterocycle with weak nucleophile can greatly be accelerated by acid catalyst or Lewis acid. So one can use the acid catalyst to initiate the ring opening reaction with a weak nucleophile. Now ring opening reaction of unsymmetrical thyrane by nucleophile. if we have an unsymmetrical tyrene molecule, for example, one can see that it can be opened either from this side, which is least sterically hindered, as compared to this side where a phenyl group and hydrogen is attached. So if we use a strong nucleophile, then it will attack on the least sterically hindered side. On this side, the ring opening happen and we will obtain this product. But if we use a weak nucleophile, it will attack on the more sterically hindered side, and the reason is that the carbocation producing here is more stable as compared to here. So therefore, with weak nucleophile, we obtain this product. So if water is used as a nucleophile, which is a weak nucleophile, then the attack will be occur at more sterically hindered side because of the stability of tertiary carbocation. So if we use water molecule, which is a weak nucleophile, then it will attack on this carbon atom because the tertiary carbocation is more stable as compared to secondary and primary carbocation. The second reaction is oxidation to sulfur oxide and desulfurization to alkene. So tyrene are oxidized by sodium periodate or peroxy acid to give tyrene oxide. They decompose on heating to alkenes and sulfur monoxide. One can see that this is tyrene molecule. When it is treated with sodium periodate or peroxy acid, it's converted to tyrene monoxide, and when it is heated, it produces the alkene molecule as well as sulfur monoxide molecule. So this ethylene aposulfoxide is a colorless liquid, and it is one of the simplest sulfoxide, and it is highly strained molecule. So therefore, when it is heated, it's easily decomposed to produce the alkene molecule and sulfur monoxide molecule. Next, last reaction is the reaction with amines and ammonia. With amines and ammonia, it affords to mercaptoethyl amine, which are good chelating agent. This is sulfur when it is treated with a secondary amine. Then we can obtain the 2-dimethylaminoethane thiol. The ring opening happen. This pair of electron of nitrogen attack on this carbon atom, and the ring opening happen, which sulfur take hydrogen from here. So we obtain the N-dimethyl aminoethane thiol molecule. And when the sulfur is treated with ammonia, then again we obtain the 2-aminoethane thiol molecule. So with both amines and ammonia, it reacts to produce the ethane thiol molecule, aminoethane thiol molecule, which are good chelating agent. So summary of today's lecture. In today's lecture, we have discussed in detail the structure, natural occurrence, synthesis, and chemical reaction of tyrene molecule. And here are some reference books for further study. Thank you.